Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Expert Interrogation Chamber. In the house today, we've got super rock star, internet marketer, YouTube specialist, James Wedmore in the house.
What's up, James?
How's it going?
Appreciate you being on, buddy. I'm going to give everybody a quick rundown of what they can expect on the call today. Anybody, we're using Spreecast here. Anybody in guest mode, if you want to interact in the chat or you want to be able to submit a question, which you can do right below James, try to do either one of those, and it's going to ask you to log in via Facebook or Twitter. If you don't want to use those, use the Spreecast account and you'll be good to go. And then on top of that, the first half, we're just going to talk to James, ask him different questions. And then the second half of the show, be sure to get your questions in. You'll want to use the Submit a Question button, and you'll be able to ask more or less anything you want. It is kind of interrogation style. You'll be able to ask your questions to James, get your questions answered for the last half hour of the show. And that's about it, guys. So we want to get this show on the road. We appreciate James taking time out of his busy schedule to come on the call today. And let's get going. So James, we've got a big audience we were telling you about that is more kind of corporate video producers and wedding, videographers, event filmmakers, and as Chris said, how would it be best for them to convey their message to their their clients on how to use YouTube? And Chris, if you want to add to that to make that more clear, but.
No, I get the question.
Yeah,
go ahead, Chris. Yeah. Okay, because I get the question. Yeah. Okay, I'll go. I promise. I'll go. All right, here's the deal. I love that question. I think it's really it's important, and I don't even know if people would even understand to ask that question because, don't take this the wrong way, but a videographer, even though it's a talent, it's a skill, it's an art form. I went to film school myself. I love film and all that jazz. It's a commodity, and it's a replaceable. They're a dime a dozen, and now we can go to Craigslist or TaskRabbit, and I can find someone dirt cheap to make a video. And if I'm a layman, if I'm someone who doesn't know what it's taking you to make that video, how long you're spending getting that right shot, and then what you're doing to go through all that footage, sit there in the editing room, spend hours of your valuable time to do that, I'm gonna think you're overcharging me, when it's over a couple $100. And I think that's the big dilemma. So the question starts with how do I convey my value to someone from the get-go without having to feel like I'm, use my language, whoring out my services at a low rate. And if you are targeting a business owner, you just have to speak in their terms. And all business owner cares about, all the business guy cares about is making more money, getting more people into the doors, getting more foot traffic, getting more leads and more sales. That's all they care about. So if you can come to them and not just say, I'm going to make you a video, because, video's nice, but if video's sitting on your desktop collecting dust, it doesn't make anybody money. And if you make them an Academy Award-winning video and they don't know what to do with it, it has little, if any, value to them at all. So that is a great first question, because really your job, if you're gonna approach the business owner, is say, how can I convey the value in a package or a service that I offer you, and it starts and ends with you saying what you're going to do with those videos, and one of those answers is YouTube. Letting them know what YouTube is. I always inform my customers before they become my customers. And the more you can educate your ideal customers, the more they'll want to work with you, and the more they'll want to work with you at your price. So we can go into major depth about this, but the simple and short answer is saying that a video by itself is not worth anything to the client, but a video that's getting them results, that's getting them leads, that's getting them traffic, that's bringing people into their store, that's getting the phone ringing, is invaluable. Because if it can do it month after month after month with one video on autopilot, client is willing to pay for that. Business owner at least is. So does that make sense? Is that kind of the direction?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I've got a follow-up to that if that's all right, Michael. But what I'm seeing in the corporate world is like, obviously the clients we love to have the most are the ones that are going to spend a bunch of money on that one just really sexy brand video. But when I start to get inside the mind of the customer, they want to start doing this video marketing. They want to start using YouTube. And really the shift is it's no longer about how can you get them to spend 10 grand on one video, and because one video, no matter how good it is on YouTube, unless it's a viral sensation, is not going to really drive more traffic to their business. It's taking that same budget and creating 10 videos or 20 videos so that talk a little bit more about how, if you even agree, this is just what I'm seeing, that it's more about the volume of what you're doing with your good content to drive traffic as opposed to just posting one and hoping that you're going to get all of, people are going to see it in all these different places.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a balance. The volume helps, but I think, Chris, what you were touching on is that if you are located in San Diego, or maybe a super smaller area than San Diego, maybe San Diego is a bad example, and you're the best at what you do in your industry and you're a hustler, eventually you're going to run out of clients if you're doing local stuff. And there's like that dilemma, and I actually talked to a guy who does local video recently, and he says that. He's like, if I keep doing it, I'm going to run out of clients. And I said, your business model is whack. Because if you do it right, you can have just a few clients and they're paying you every month. And yes, as Chris said, you could be getting the reoccurring payments from the client to do other videos. But I go as far as to say you don't even need to do additional videos for them in order to get reoccurring billing. When we sat down and talked, this was actually just the other day, I told him how he can restructure his business model where he's just charging $500 a pop, and he makes a video and then gets it ranked inside of Google for them. And it's really cool. He showed me some examples, and I was like, really, that's $500 of value. You are so undervaluing yourself. It's ridiculous. Then he told me that someone has hired him to do the work at $500, and he resells it to another client for $1,400. And even that guy at $1,400 is doing it too cheap. So he's basically hiring this guy to do all the work, and all he does is make a profit margin in the middle. But where I'm sitting here and looking at is the opportunity to charge a monthly reoccurring billing to maintain and manage their YouTube marketing and even other additional social marketing stuff for them, which really doesn't take a lot of work or a lot of effort. And at the end of the day, if the client is getting X amount of leads and X amount of traffic every month, it's far less, and it's your job to position yourself this way, it's far less of an expense to them to pay you $100, $200 a month than it is to hire a part-time, full-time social media manager person that they have to train, put on the payroll, sit around in their office and, dig around all day. When they could just be paying you a couple $100 a month. Maybe you're making one extra video a month for them, or you're just managing their videos. But the short of the long of it is having fewer clients that are paying you on a residual.
So you've touched on it a little bit, but can you maybe walk through in a little bit more detail what that kind of model would be? I mean, are you trying to get a client to say, hey, we're going to create X amount of fresh content, and then maybe that one video a month or those 4 videos a month, and then the residual essentially is the management of driving traffic and that whole thing? I mean, how would that kind of business model work?
Sure. Okay. So here, and there's several different ways to do this, but here's how I've done it. I've done it a few different ways, and here's how I would start to recommend it to somebody. The first is a front-end payment of between $1 to $2 grand is a nice, happy medium for me, and you're making anywhere from 2 to 4 videos, and the really keyword. And I don't know if this is beyond people here, but I want to make sure we know this, is that where the strategy comes into place is we're not making just an about me video or my welcome video or why you should buy from me commercial video. These are keyword-centric, keyword-oriented videos that their ideal customers are searching for every time they go type into Google or type into YouTube, because that's where it starts. Okay, and we can talk more about how to get your videos ranked, but that's basically what they would be paying for. So this front end $1,000 to $2,000, we come in, we shoot a couple of videos for you. You know, let's say you hire a local chiropractor hires you. You know, you're looking for keywords like San Diego chiropractor, San Diego back pain specialist, stuff like that, and you're going to create simple little videos about it. And honestly, these can be videos that are literally like, give me 10 to 20 images of, you know, or get stock images of a chiropractor doing his thing, and then put a voiceover to it and a little bit of music. You've got a video, right? You know, it doesn't have to be this amazing masterpiece, even though as a videographer, we all want to do that. We all want to make something that's like absolutely incredible that the client's going to love. But at the end of the day, like I said, all they care is about more money, more sales, more clients, more customers, more phone calls. So you charge them for the videos, and then to do all the magic work, which is the stuff, in my opinion, is where it all comes down to, which is getting it ranked in YouTube, getting it ranked in Google, doing other type of maintenance stuff, like all the behind the scenes stuff that you would do to get it ranked, like getting backlinks, getting the video embedded on different sites, building up the channel, would be something that you can charge a monthly residual rate. I've charged up to $800 a month to do 3 videos a month for a client, and the client provided the videos. They gave us the videos, and I had a whole team that would actually go and do all that. So we can talk about the details and the specifics, but there's a great model. It's a $1,000 to $2,000 front end, and then $200 monthly, and you're basically giving them a report every month saying, here's how many, you know, we track the traffic, here's how many times people clicked on your link, here's how many views you got, here's how many this, here's how many that, and you know, you let them know. As soon as you're not happy with the results I'm producing for you, you can cancel my services. But at least you're getting the residual form. And yes, if Chris, you want to throw in things like every month we make a new video for you, or every other month we make a new video, I wouldn't try and kill yourself,
Sure.
you know, doing that, because I don't think you need to. I think, you know, with most small business owners, how many different keywords are they searching for? How many different ways are they searching for the client? You know, they're the business, your client.
That aspect, then there's, you know, you're saying that if you found anywhere from 3 to 5 keywords that particular client may, their clients may be searching for them, you're only going to need to make maybe 3 to 5 videos, and then optimize those videos, and those videos alone can produce long-lasting results for them, as opposed to, I need to create a new video, you know, once a week. I mean, is that more, when you hear that kind of stuff, is that more for somebody building a YouTube channel to build a large audience, and not, you know, localized audience for video or for work? You know, that's where the volume of work becomes important.
Right, right. The volume for me in my business, which is teaching video marketing to the small business owner, and I have clients that are not local. It's all over the world. People work with me. It's all about volume. It's all about getting as many videos out as possible, as quickly as possible, and with the right strategy and optimizing it. The small business owner, you know, and the example we'll give, this is a great example, is where this friend of mine works. He does this local video stuff. Camarillo, the keyword is Camarillo Heating Services, and it's like a heating and AC company, repair company. So Camarillo Heating Services, and the video is ranked right up at the top. YouTube video is ranked inside of Google. When you type that in, it only has 67 views, and I think it's only a month old. It only has 67 views, but each and every one of those 67 views are coming from people that have typed in Camarillo, this is a city, heating services, who are obviously people that live in Camarillo, who need someone to repair their heater or something like that. And that's extremely targeted.
Is that the video you're talking about? I think I found, I mean, it's, you know, right there in fact, I even spelled it wrong, and it still came up in Google in the first, number 1 spelled right. It's number like 3 or 4 spelled completely wrong.
Yeah, so this guy does beyond. He does beyond like the local video marketing. He can get them on the first page. So like he's got their Yelp up there. He's got a couple other things like a Weebly site on them, a .webs. He's got them all over the first page, and it's really cool what he does. But his videos, number 1, the YouTube videos, number 1, and this is what I'm talking about. This is where I'm going to stop and make sure people get this. Is this video from our standpoint? If we put on our videographer lens, our film school lens, like this video is a joke. Like it's 10 images with a voiceover that he got from a guy on Fiverr. Yet, if you go to any business owner and you ask them, how much is it worth to you to be at the number 1 spot of Google when someone's searching for your specific industry? People will pay a lot of money for that. That's why SEO companies make a lot of money, because they're charging a couple $1,000s a month for their services, and you're going in through the back door taking a shortcut and ranking a video, because videos are 50 times, and this is an accurate statistic, have a 50 times greater chance of getting ranked than a textual-based website do. So as a videographer, you can make a video, and you can charge for that. But if you put on this video strategist or video marketer hat, you can make so much more money doing stuff like this for the business owner, because this is what they care about. And I can't stress that enough. I'm probably starting to sound like a broken record, but that's where I get excited and geek out about.
Have you found that, is there some kind of methodology for knowing which industries in a particular city will rank higher when you do that? Because I've done a lot of tests. I've got several clients that have kind of become my guinea pigs for this video marketing, really following a lot of what you teach. And like one company is an employment background check company, and you couldn't find them anywhere in standard Google results. And I said, look, I'm gonna produce 5 videos. I'm gonna ninja trick, do all my tricks with the YouTube stuff, and within weeks, her videos are on the first page, of Google, like Google results, not just YouTube, Google. And then I try the same thing with, another industry, I mean, mainly us, video production, and it's like you can't find them. I mean, it's like sometimes the industries, the videos just pop right up on the first page of Google, and then other industries, it's just like, the videos don't show up for 3 or 4 pages down. I mean, what's kind of I know it's all algorithms and competition, but what are you finding with that?
Sure. That's a great question, and to be completely honest with you, I don't have the answer, because I don't specialize myself in the local markets. Like, I don't do this. I talk to people that do, and that's a great question I've never asked. So I don't really know. I can imagine that something like video production is going to be much more competitive than Camarillo heating services, and I would start. So as far as like what industry do I go after? I would go after something that's so narrow and niche, where it's like my city, chiropractor, or like the heating AC guy, like just like totally random, super small stuff. Even if the keyword is only 250 searches a month or less, that's like super targeted, because all this guy really needs, the plumber, the chiropractor, the local dentist, all he really needs is 5 more people a month, and he's making a lot more money. Depending on who he is and what the lifetime value of his customer is, he's going to be making more money. So I don't know, Chris. I really don't know what industry makes a video pop or not. But I think
industries
if it's more competitive. So if there's a lot more, because if you type in certain keywords on YouTube, you're going to find a ton of videos that have that keyword in it. But then when you go to Google for that, none of the videos sometimes show up like in the actual, you have to hit videos. Now what's happening there? Is it, again, if it's less competitive, then it pops up easier, or?
That could be. Again, when it comes to local stuff, I still don't have the full lowdown or answer. I will say this. We know Google is way smarter than us and than we could ever be. And I know for the most part, they're really good at identifying, and this probably won't help for the local person, but it gives you perspective of what Google's doing. For the most part, they know, and all they care about is the value to the search user, right? The guy who's typing that in, the girl who's typing that in, and that value to them includes what is the best way to give you the answer you're looking for. Now, what I mean is, let's use this as an example. If you didn't know how to tie a tie, and you go to Google and you type in how to tie a tie, and an article would come up, that's probably not going to help you as much as a video, right? And if we go there, last time I checked, there's a video up at the top, how to tie a tie, and it had, last time I checked, 11 million views, especially the one with the girl on it. Has a lot, but one of the top videos I'd found before had 11 million views because Google knows that if people 12 million, there you go. Google knows that if people want to know how to tie a tie, that is something that they need visual help with, that it would be better demonstrated through a video. And so I always tell people, if you want to get ranked in Google, it's that extra step, but anything that's more visual is going to help. Now, how does Camarillo Heating Services play into this? I have no clue why Camarillo Heating Services will rank and then maybe San Diego Dentist will not. I really don't know. I do, though, know that doing all this stuff to optimize your videos, to get backlinks, doing all this magic on the back end, which we can go in and talk a little bit about, is going to make a difference, and that might be what it's coming down to. Obviously, I actually do not specialize in like the Google SEO stuff. Like, it's still so like big and esoteric for me. But hey, when my videos hit in there, that's when you hit the jackpot. That's always the goal. Get your video to the top of YouTube, and if it hits inside of Google, that's your big payday, basically.
Well, and here, I was going to say, I was going to give it just a quick kind of case study of how I've done it effectively. I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I decided that I wanted to branch out and start picking up some clients in Atlanta, which is 2 hours from here. But granted, I didn't want to go spend a bunch of time in Atlanta unless I'm being paid to be there. So I said, you know what, let me create a bunch of these kind of FAQ type videos where I'm in the studio and recording just all kinds of stuff about production. And I optimize those videos for keywords that I found that weren't mainstream for Atlanta, but they were pretty good sub-niches. And like I posted those, completely just airlanded sea, attacked, YouTube with force, with these videos. And it was like 14 videos, I think, all the same set of keywords. And within a week, I started getting calls from Atlanta clients. And I actually booked 2 new accounts within, 2 weeks of doing that. And I still get, inquiries every week from Atlanta. But that was just it really proved the concept to me that it absolutely does work. The interesting thing that I'm finding is it's not necessarily the exact kind of client that I would like to get, but it's still new clients in a way that I've never seen before. It's never been a, hey, do this and this happens, as it relates to marketing. So I can attest to absolutely what you're saying is true. I'm not showing up on the Google results, but there's obviously people that are going to YouTube and just searching for things straight up, and there's opportunity there.
That's a huge thing. Is a lot of people say this is that the younger generation, and we are always kind of copying them. The younger generation was on Facebook first, which I was actually I guess I'm included in that first generation of Facebook users. But we kind of copy after them. Like I see all my young cousins were using this site called Instagram. I'm like, what's that? Oh, I want to be on there. But the younger kids are going to YouTube first. That's where they go to answer their questions. It said, obviously YouTube is owned by Google, but they say that YouTube is the second largest search engine. So it isn't just a place to put your videos because you need to host them for free. it's really a search engine, and if these younger kiddies are going there to get their answers to their questions, it's probably going to trickle over to a lot of us, and it's pretty cool. Like when I look at my videos, and we can look at any video of mine, my views, minimum of 50% of all my views come from people searched it inside YouTube or on the YouTube app and mobile views, and they were looking specifically for what I had, and there was my video showing up number 1 or number 2. So yeah, it works.
Did you saw that the new you did the video about the new, the tags inside the videos can now be linkable to external sites. Now you might have seen, and you've probably already gotten this, I don't know if you've addressed it yet, but like I went to my account, and at first it was only for fundraising. Now I have one for merch, but I still don't have one that is in theory to almost any external site. Like it didn't have the wording that yours had for when I dropped down.
You don't have associated website?
No, all I have is merch, and I have the fundraising one now.
So what he's talking about is within the last few weeks, YouTube's been rolling out the ability to take an annotation, which are those little sticky, annoying things that you can pop up on your videos, and you can click them and you can go to an external website and leave YouTube, which is a huge deal because, now when Chris is doing a video to target people in Atlanta, he can just be like, hey, click here to go to my website to get, like a free quote or something like that, and boom, they're gone. I don't know if you saw the video, but I showed people how to make sure to set it up. You got to make sure your channel is monetized, and you have to set up and verify an associated website. So go to your YouTube settings, Michael, and just kind of check through those and make sure everything's a green light. But they're rolling it out. Not everyone has it. I've had people come back to me saying I did everything you said and I don't have it yet. And it's just like that's how YouTube works. They kind of roll things out to certain people at certain times. Kind of annoying, but.
Once it's agreed, if I've done everything, it'll just be a matter of time then before I get it, potentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure you've done everything. I'll send you the link to that video too, and just kind of go through it, and just be patient. If you don't have it, it'll come.
Well, so I want to do a quick break here for just a second real quick. Everybody, we appreciate everybody coming on the call today. Anybody who is in guest mode and you want to interact in the chat, or you want to ask questions, because here in just a few minutes we're going to be able to take your questions and get answers from James to your questions. So you'll want to use the Submit a Question button right below James, and you'll be able to get your answers to your questions. So we'll do that for the last half of the show, but if you want to do that, you're going to have to log in either via Facebook, Twitter, or a Spreecast account, and when you try to do that, it's going to ask you to do one of those things. So whichever is easier for you, we always just tell people Facebook. That's super easy. And again, this show is presented by KRE8insights, KRE8insights.com. The link's up on our site, are up right below Chris and James. And, we have an educational site to help video production companies take their business to the next level. So, check that out. Like us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, or follow us on Twitter. And also check out James' site. We'll put him up there again here, too, jameswedmore.com. And so anything else, Chris, here real quick before we start taking everybody's questions? Make sure you get your questions in, because I know the last few calls they've piled up, and we're only going to do this for about a half hour, so we appreciate James's time. So, Chris, I think you muted yourself, Chris.
You there?
Yeah, there you are.
That's what happens when I try to listen to a voicemail and be cool about it. But anyway, there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect in the chat. I think people are thinking, well, you can either sell high-end production or you have to do these low-end videos with a few $100 a month thing. And like the way I'm seeing this opportunity is it's a great opportunity to do both. Like to me, I might get in the door with that $5,000 really cool video that's going to play at a trade show, right? But then once I make the client happy there, then I have the conversation that says, well, let's talk about some of your residual marketing. I mean, what are some things can we help you with, or let me explain this program that I have that we can get you ranked on YouTube and increase, and the fact that you've used your traditional production services to to build that credibility, knock it out of the park, then at that point you could pretty much drive them in any direction you want to go. And I think that's where people are missing the point. I mean, is a corporation or any company going to pay you $5,000 a month to produce one video? No, they're not going to do that. So the point is, we're only selling 1 or 2 videos like that a year anyway to this customer. So this is a great opportunity to convert those one-time big chunks into that monthly revenue thing, because that's what the biggest problem in the production industry is sales do this. I mean, it's like boom, you market like crazy, sales are down, you sell a bunch of stuff, sales are up, but then guess what happens when all the projects are done? Boom, you're back down again. And doing like what you're suggesting, James, I think it would help us as an industry stay a little more even, so that if you get enough of those residual accounts, you're paying your bills. And then when you hit those home runs with those big production contracts, that's where you really start to make some huge money in those short bursts.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point, Chris. I have one of my best friends in the world, went to film school with him, and he went out and he started a production company. He's out in LA now, and he's extremely talented, way more talented, makes way better videos than I ever could, and he is the hardest working person I know. He makes good enough money, but he's working his ass off, and he's doing stuff for Warner Brothers. He works on their like behind the scenes music videos for big musicians and stuff like that. He's done commercials for Nike. He works on a travel documentary and gets to travel over the world. Amazing stuff. But the guy hasn't slept in years, and he works his tail off, and he's always chasing that next deal. And I still think, like, I look at him as a very successful person. I think he's awesome. But at the end of the day, if we're doing this on our own, if we're not working for somebody else, you are a business owner first. And I think, like, looking through some of the conversation is that's what makes the difference, is that no matter how long you've been doing anything you've been doing, whether you're a videographer or something else, if you are freelance or doing it on your own, you're a business owner and a marketer first, because you have to be able, because you know how amazing and how awesome you are, but you have to be able to communicate that to someone first in order for them to hand you money. And when we're talking about these residual type things, you can set that up with the right strategy and marketing. You can set that up so you have a couple clients that are just paying you residual, and that kind of pays the bills, gets you that nice cushion. Then you get to go out and do the things that you really love and start with your passion and your creativity first. But I've been there where you don't know where that next client's coming from, and then you get to a point of desperation where, like, if they lowball you, you have to say yes because you have no other choice. And that's the last thing I'd ever want from anybody, and just because you want to say, like, well, but I'm talented and blah, blah, blah. It's a lot easier to say, these are the results I can get for you. This is what I can do for you. And if I don't get it for you, I'm going to go to your competitor right down the street, and I'm going to do it for him for twice the price. So business owner first and videographer second, but that's my opinion.
Well, that's a big thing with KRE8insights, and what we do and why we started it was because we wanted too many people focus on tech. Too many people are so worried about how great the video looks, and they put the marketing on the back end, and they put the business side of things on the back end, and they're this amazing artist, and they're starving. They're a starving artist. And
Yeah.
when I changed my business model from focusing on tech to focusing on business, and honestly looking up to people like Tim Ferriss and all these different types of people outside my industry, boom, business exploded for me because I was able, and I still got to do what I loved as opposed to doing what I love and barely making any money. Now I do what I love, and I make good money, and I have time. I have that freedom that you're talking about.
And the average person doesn't have the filter that you have when it comes to video. They don't see the things you see, the shots, the angles, the cuts, the work that went into getting something done. They don't see that. Like, they're so much more blind to it, and the bar for them is so much lower, and you can really do something that can take you a little bit of time and just wow the heck out of somebody. And so I'm the same way. Like, when I started doing all this stuff years ago and was marketing my own businesses with video, I realized that the real secret for me, when the results started going up, similar to what you were saying, was the less time it took to get from here to the internet, idea to the internet. The faster I could get something done, the more efficient I became, the more I put out there, the more the results came in. And there's a healthy balance. But speed of implementation has always been important on the internet.
Boom, 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 boom. So let's get to the questions here, guys. Start submitting your questions. We're going to take about the last 25, 30 minutes here to answer your questions and start queuing them up. And James, as much as possible, in case they start piling up, we'll try to do kind of a rapid fire here. And if people want to follow back up, you guys just follow back up and do that. And again, if you're in guest mode, just log in via Facebook or Twitter or Spreecast when you try to chat or submit your questions. So here we go. Go ahead, Chris.
All right, first question is from Travis, and Travis is asking, what do you do after you post a video on YouTube to get traffic? So I'd say to narrow that down, maybe just kind of what's the top 3 things to do as soon as you get it on YouTube to get that ball rolling?
Okay, well, in order to answer that question, there has to be one thing you do before you put it up on YouTube, and that's understand that every video that goes up on YouTube, I want to make sure everybody writes this down if it's the one thing you take away. It's like the most important thing I can share. Every video that goes up on YouTube has to be associated to a keyword phrase. In other words, everyone who's going to Google or YouTube is searching something. People are using that search bar. People are definitely, when they go to Google, they type something in. They're looking for something. And if you can identify what that is using the Google Keyword Tool, great free tool to use, Google Keyword Tool, you can create a shot list of videos based on what people are searching for. So that's why I said you don't make a video like my first video or my welcome video or my about me video, because no one goes to YouTube and starts their day typing in about me video. They go in saying, how do I lose weight? How do I XYZ? You know, how do I get rid of my wrinkles? You know, whatever. They're searching for questions, and you can provide them an answer through an answer. How to tie a tie? How to jump higher? Okay. How to get rid of armpit fat, which is one of our videos, which has a ton of views, and it's ranked there on the top of Google. You can go to Google right now and type in how to, you can just type in armpit fat. There it is. So when you start with a keyword and you make a video about that keyword, like armpit fat, make a video about how to get rid of armpit fat, and you put it up on YouTube, it's simply as easy as optimizing the video for that keyword. Telling YouTube that this video is about armpit fat, putting it in the title, putting it in the description, putting it in the tags. Also, YouTube gives you the ability to have a transcript in the video. Transcript meaning every word that you say in the video is in a typed, written thing. This right here, guys, is the most powerful thing. I have a video that I did a test a long time ago about kettlebells, which is the big, they look like big Russian cannonballs with a handle. You swing around, you get in good shape with them, or try to. And I made a video, and in the middle of the video, I said, I'm passionate about kettlebells. And that's it. It's just in the middle of the video I said it. I go, I love kettlebells. I'm passionate about kettlebell. You go to YouTube, and you type in, I'm passionate about kettlebells. My video comes up number 1. Why? Because it's in the transcript. You have a transcript connected to each video. It tells YouTube and Google exactly what is said and indexes every single word. So we have title with your keyword, description with your keyword, tags with your keyword, transcript with your keyword. That's the first thing you can do to optimize your video. Now there's a ton of stuff we can go from there. But does that make sense to get people started, guys?
No, I think that's awesome. That's great tips, cool. Man.
Cool. So you can do this with old videos. Like that's the thing. Most of you guys here probably have at least one video on YouTube. Go back, spend some time in the Google Keyword Tool, and realize that you have a video that says like killer video. It's like no one searches that. Like even though it's a killer video, no one's searching that. So go put something in there. Like my buddy, okay, my same videographer friend, when he was getting started, the smartest thing he did, and I kind of helped him on this, so I like to say it was the smartest thing he did. He was doing like free promo stuff and for people just to get his name out there to build a reel. And it was so awesome. He puts this video up he was able to get access to a Lamborghini, what one was it? The Murcielago, if I'm saying it properly. he spent the day with his car, and he got to film it, and he was doing it for a watch company, and so like he had the watch next to the car. It was the most magical, amazing video I've ever seen. When he uploaded the video, I told him, I said, dude, put the model name of the car as your title. And this thing got like 250,000 views because there are a ton of people searching not for that watch company yet because it was a brand new watch company, but they are searching for different kind of Lamborghinis, and got a ton of views off of it. Went for the keyword. Done. Next question.
All right. So Dan says, Dan's one of our members at KRE8. James, I'd like to get your take on the place that self-hosting that costs money has in our video marketing strategy, sites like Wistia, etc. What is your philosophy about when to use YouTube versus when to use self-host and both, etc.?
And is this in terms of for your own business or doing this for different clients? Or would you?
I think we have, there's kind of both. I mean, there's a business model where a lot of video guys are offering these private hosting sort of as a reseller and making some money. And, you know, and at least in corporate video, I mean, you know, some corporations, you can't even open YouTube inside the firewall. And other corporations, you know, and so I think they're just trying to say, or he's just trying to ask in general, is there a right time, is there a wrong time, you know, as it relates to, you know, what we do. And I don't know.
Well, anyway, so. Yeah, no, Dan, this is a great question. And let me be super clear, because I may not be these guys may be way more qualified to answer this question for you than I would, because what my specialty is I teach people how to use YouTube. And most of my clients and students they're doing it for themselves. And they're coaches, they're entrepreneurs, they've got a physical product, they've got a digital product, they've got something to sell, and they just need the traffic. And so I'm going to tell them, I'll say this to you, but it might be a little different if you're going after a client. If the strategy is to get more traffic, to get more eyeballs, to bring in new people, YouTube hands down. Because that's still the largest social sharing site. It's owned by Google. The videos are getting ranked the easiest in search results. People are going straight to YouTube. They're using the mobile. It's the best way to get views fast. Now, the way I use these private hosting sites in my business, which might totally be different from you, is when I have private membership sites and content, stuff that people pay me to join, I use those private sites because I don't want it publicly out there on YouTube. That's only for people that have already found me. But in order to get new eyeballs, to get new people, I always use YouTube. So I always say, at the simplest form, your online strategy needs to consist of two things for anybody. Any business, if you're using the internet, comes down to traffic and conversions. You get the traffic, you send them somewhere, and then once you get that traffic, you have to convert them. You have to get them to take action, whether it's opt in, call a number, click a button, purchase, buy, whatever. Traffic conversions. YouTube can cover that whole first part of that equation, which is traffic. So YouTube, I always say YouTube is traffic. Beyond that, you can use Wistia and private hosting for conversions, like sales videos, membership videos, stuff like that. That's how I use it. I don't know if that's the best answer for you, Dan, but if you guys have follow-up on that, let me know.
I think that's a great answer. I mean, you know, as you were saying that, I started thinking if I want to, you know, if I'm trying to get somebody on a mass transit to get them somewhere, that's where I'm using YouTube. That's where I'm using Facebook. But once they arrive at the destination, you know, if it's a longer presentation or something behind a password, you know, like a paid service, then definitely that's where, I know at KRE8, that's what we do. We put all of that stuff on Wistia, and we have some things on iPlayer. But in terms of getting people there, it's all Facebook, it's all YouTube, you know, and those kinds of things.
Oh, have you guys seen this study that was done that just came out that like regarding Facebook, if you upload a video to Facebook versus sharing a YouTube video on Facebook, that the Facebook video gets a 40% higher engagement? Did you see that?
You know what? I'm going to comment on that for just a second for people. If you look in because I was wondering this for a long time, and I did all this testing, and on iPads and iPhones, YouTube and Vimeo and these other ones look really strange in the feed. Like they don't even look like they just look like a link. Whereas if you post it to Facebook, it's actually an image. It's a thumbnail with a play button, and it takes you immediately to the video. As opposed
and it's
to the
bigger
other one.
too.
Yeah, it's bigger. Yeah. Exactly. So
I'm sure it's.
I just want to comment on that. Well, yeah, of course it's on purpose. I just want to comment on that a lot of people come back to me and they go, "Oh, YouTube guy, look at you. Facebook's outperforming YouTube," and I laugh because let's hear what they're saying right now. They're saying that on Facebook, a Facebook video has a higher engagement than a YouTube video. Well, do you think a YouTube video on YouTube has a higher engagement than a Facebook video? Yes, because on YouTube, which is not just a search engine, it's not just a place to post your videos, it's also a community. And I hope people get that as well. I say YouTube is traffic, but YouTube is also a community. There are subscribers, there are friends, people messaging. Your videos can create a two-way conversation just like this, just like how we have people commenting in real time. YouTube's very similar with their whole commenting and video response system. And so obviously on YouTube, the engagement for a YouTube video is high because what are people on YouTube to do? Watch and engage, right? But none of us here have showed an example of a Facebook video getting ranked in Google, getting found months or years later. So a lot of people are saying, oh, should I not do YouTube? Should I only be doing Facebook? I'm like, never stop posting something on YouTube. I'll tell you when to stop. When YouTube's dead, I'll let you know. It's definitely not dead. So the answer to that would be, if you have to, post it twice. But I'm still, even though I'm a little biased, I'm still going to say YouTube first because you've got the mobile, you've got the search results views. It stays alive. I have a product I created 4 years ago on how to bartend. I still get sales to that. It's an online bartending school. I still get sales to that today. And when all the orders come in, they say, how did you find out about us? How did you hear about us? And it says youtube.com, YouTube videos, one of your YouTube videos. And those are videos that I posted 4 years ago, and they're still coming in. Facebook videos don't do that. YouTube videos do. So
cool.
I'll stop for a second.
Let's keep trucking. That's great stuff, man. All right, Randy, he's asking, why did you decide to use your personal name for your business website instead of a business name?
Great question. For me personally, because I am a personal brand. What I do is I am a coach and a teacher first. And so where my business is and what I do is coaching and teaching. And so for me, that was a no-brainer. If you're a service-based business or, like an agency, et cetera, you don't need to use your own name or anything like that. So that's the simple answer. And it was about me having to kind of, step out in the spotlight and make videos about myself, being an ass on camera, basically. So, and some people like it. Some don't.
Perfect.
All right.
I'll tell you.
So another question from Travis. He says, can Google/YouTube understand the content in the video, or is the SEO all just off of the video?
Great question, and I did answer that, so I'll say it again. The answer to this is yes. They can if you have a transcript uploaded and synced with your video, then they can see exactly what you're saying in your video. So this brings up a few important points, guys, is that if you're doing a video that has no text or no voiceover, no dialogue in it, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. If your video doesn't have your keyword in it, you're doing yourself a disservice. So what I intentionally do when I write a script for myself, and I tell this to all my students as well, and your keyword is armpit fat, right? I always use that example because people always remember it. You better say armpit fat like 3 times in the video. Like, hey, Michelle here, and I'm going to show you how to get rid of armpit fat. And then a minute later, like, so, here's another exercise to get rid of armpit fat. And so, yes, when you upload that transcript and it has every single word attached to it, YouTube and Google know, oh, this video is about armpit fat. So, yes.
Perfect.
Awesome.
That's great.
All right.
Great.
Aaron Thomas, thanks for coming on the call. James, are you posting on your own channel or your client's channel?
So and let me make this really clear, is I do not, and this is why I said some of those questions I may not be the best to answer it. I don't do any client work anymore. And so obviously all my videos are for me to promote my coaching, my training programs, my workshops, my other products. And so it's all on my own channel. I'm not doing any demo work. But if you were to answer that question, or if you want me to answer that question as to what do I think is the best, I don't know if I have the right answer for that. You guys have feedback. If I'm doing this for local clients, do I post the videos on my own channel? I see the benefits of that is that one of the things YouTube measures is the clout of your channel. So as you have more views, the more often you post, the more subscribers you have, the more activity on that channel, the more all of your videos can help get ranked and get more views. So if you put them all in one channel, it's all in one place, but then obviously the branding isn't there for the channel because it's, you got your doctor and your chiropractor and your dentist and your plumber all in one location. You guys have thoughts on that?
I guess one of my thoughts has been, and I'm sure it's because I just haven't dove in deep enough, but to me, my success has been more about the actual videos themselves as opposed to the channel. I've never really, and it's probably just because I haven't taken the time to try to build the channel. It's more about the individual properties that are posted with the keywords as opposed to the channel itself.
But Chris, are you putting those videos on your channel for a client, or do you create their own channel as well for them?
If I'm just trying to show off the client work, then it goes on my channel as like, this is something that we've done. And then I optimize it for the keywords that are going to benefit me. And then in a lot of cases, I'll piggyback off of their success online and putting their URLs in the description and maybe some of their keywords just so that I can get a little cross-promotion. Actually been smacked on the hand a couple times by some of the bigger brands that I do business for because I've been just trying to piggyback off of their popularity, and they're like, hey, no, you can't do that unless you get it.
But if I liked what you saw, with what you've showed me on your channel, I say, Chris, I want to hire you, and I want you to do 10 videos for me. Right. Would you put those still on your channel, or would you set up your own channel for me?
No, I would do it. I would do a channel for them. I mean, they would have to have their own. In my opinion, they'd have to have their own thing. I may also put their videos on my channel just as a way to maybe show them that there's a little more value. I'm saying, hey, it may not bring anything to you, but more places, then you run into the whole issue of can you, post the same video twice, which I've learned you can as long as you change the music track, but I'm not sure how long that'll be the case.
Sneaky. Hey, Dan has something great that he said. I don't want to interrupt you guys or change the flow, but he's talking about call to actions, and I definitely want to get something in about some strategies for call to actions because we haven't touched on that, and that's like super important. So whenever you guys want to address that, I'd love to give my thoughts on it.
Yeah, go ahead right now, man.
Okay. So I just saw a comment that Dan put in that says, good videos have a call to action. Those can lead to sales. And that's kind of what I talked about at the beginning. I did this whole rant about strategy first, and you have to come to the client saying like, look, we can get you this. And if you're just making this beautifully magical Academy Award winning video, you're not thinking about a call to action. You're not thinking about, sometimes maybe you'll just put like a website at the end. One of the things my buddy who does do the local marketing, we just talked the other day, as I mentioned earlier, what he does, and he says it's working really well, is throughout the video, he says, mention this YouTube video and you'll receive 10% off on your next purchase. And then they have all the store information so they could go in person. They have the phone number, they have the website, all that type of stuff. But his call to action is much more incentivized because you get the discount. And so people are going to do that right now. So here they are, they're typing in, Camarillo plumber or whatever, and they've got a ton to choose from, but here's a guy that gets, this guy's going to give me a discount? Yep, I'm going to go with this guy, and now you got the client. So every video needs to have a call to action, needs to tell people what to do, and when you go to your client and you're like, yeah, what we want to do is we want to, because this does two things, but you tell them, we want to offer a little discount on your services when they mention this video, and you tell them why. But it will do two things. Number one, it will get people to take action, and the client will see the results. They'll see the people calling. But at number two, it'll show proof that what you're doing for them is working. Because when they get the phone call that says, I saw your YouTube video, boom, like they're going to continue paying you that monthly, as long as every month, I saw your YouTube video, it's game over. So that's a great call to action for the local business owners. For me, I always focus on list building. In my business, I'm trying to build, the subscriber list, the names and email addresses so people can get on my e-newsletter. And so it's click the link below to subscribe to my newsletter. But every video, no matter what you're doing, needs to have some sort of call to action.
That's a great point. Let's try to rapid fire a few of these. So I know we got just a little bit of time left. I want to get through as many of these as possible real quick. There's about 10 of them. I think I glanced through them. We can get through them pretty quick. So.
All right, let's do it. Stephen, wondering. Lost James. There he is.
I'm here.
Stephen saying, wondering if you're using Traffic Geyser, and what's your opinion on it?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah.
So Traffic Geyser I've actually never used. All I will say is this. If it has a function still to, because if I recall properly, one of its original functions was to like upload one video to like a bunch of sites. Just don't use that to upload to YouTube. YouTube is the holy grail of video sharing sites still. So spend the time here to do that whole step manually. Then if you want to take that same video and blast it to 10 to 15 other sites, by all means do it. Just don't use Traffic Geyser to do it to YouTube. Do that manually.
Well, in what we've done, we kind of took that same approach in my company, and we would use Traffic Geyser to get it on YouTube, but then we immediately go in and change it all, so that it's still like a manual submission in terms of the keywords and all of that. Because there's a lot of sites that if you don't use Traffic Geyser to upload to YouTube, it won't push them to those other social sharing sites. But I can caveat that by saying I use Traffic Geyser a lot for about a year, and honestly, Traffic Geyser didn't give me the results that I need, and so I didn't think it was worth the $99 a month to do that. So I recently just cut it. Just said, hey, I don't want to spend it because the stats were showing everything was coming from YouTube. I mean, virtually nothing coming from these other random sites, which showed me that it wasn't a necessary expense. I can say that it did help in ranking some of those other companies I mentioned earlier about getting on the first couple pages of Google for different keywords, because YouTube might be great for a main keyword, but some of these secondary and third tier keywords, Traffic Geyser actually did a better job. Not Traffic Geyser itself, but those other video sharing sites that hooked up through that. But anyway, I think there's a lot of work you can do on YouTube long before you want to spend the $99 a month, in my opinion.
And there's another tool. I'm a little wary to share it because it's brand new, and I just picked it up the other day. But I'll share it here, but with that disclaimer, that I'm actually really excited about. It's called Tube Kaboom. Have you guys heard of this yet?
No,
Tube what?
Type it in the chat?
Yeah, I'll type it in the chat. And basically, oops, spelled that wrong.
And we're doing a bad job of the rapid fire, so sorry about that, Jason.
I know, but yeah, there's just so much. I'm sorry. Tube Kaboom, it's a site that can
minutes or so?
It can, yeah, I can say as long as you need. Tube Kaboom can help you rank your YouTube videos for you.
Oh, cool.
And it doesn't, it gets you backlinks and stuff like that. So let's go. Let's do more rapid fire. I'll answer them quickly, I promise.
You're the man.
All right,
I just want to be respectful of your time, James, that's all.
Okay, cool. So Rand says, you talked about conveying the value of your services and educating your potential clients on what all goes into the creation of a successful video. How do you recommend doing that? Aren't you worried about educating them to the point that they think they can do it themselves?
Awesome. That is such a great question because that's total BS. No. Anybody who can do it themselves is not your ideal client. If they can do it themselves, they've got way too much time on their hands and they're cheap ass. People that you want to work with value their time, and they don't want to touch what you do with a 10-foot pole. Those are the people you want to go after, and when you raise your prices enough, you'll see that they don't bat an eye. Okay, so let's go back to this Camarillo heating services. This is the type of line you see. This is the type of line you want to use for your customer. And the great thing is to do this first for somebody, like get the results and show it as an example. But pretend that I was the one that did this Camarillo heating thing, and boom, there's a video on the #1 spot. I would ask you a question like, do you know what the lifetime value of one of your customers is? And they might know the answer, they might not. And they say, well, yeah, it's $1,000. I say, have you ever, you could ask questions like, have you ever paid for an SEO company? Have you ever done anything like that? Yeah, and it didn't work. I go, well, what would it be worth to you to get your video and your information on the first page of Google and YouTube directing back to your stuff? What would that be worth to you? Because that's how you convey it. I mean, that translates to more eyeballs onto me. Like, that's what we do. And that's so much more valuable than just saying, I can make a really cool video for you. I know that's what we want to do. We want to make really cool videos, so you can do that on top of it. But that's who's going to pay for it. It's the person who say, you get me there. You get me to that top spot, that we're game. And then if you can go into the Google keyword tool and say, did you know that 700 people a month are typing in Laguna Beach yoga? How much would it be worth for you to get a video of your yoga studio at that #1 spot when people type in Laguna Beach yoga? That's 700 eyeballs a month that are seeing you, not that other studio down the street. Now, what we do is we offer a package where we create the videos and blah, 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 and then every single month we optimize it and XYZ to get you to that top spot. We send you a report every month so you know exactly how much traffic you're getting, how many views you're getting, XYZ. That's how I would convey it. And if there's anything you guys want to add to that, let me know.
Dude, you're killing it. Crushing it.
Thank you.
All right.
There's
so
something on my
Owen's got a question. How well do Vimeo videos rank in Google? Do you know?
I don't know the answer to that. Not as well as YouTube is the only answer I have to that. Like I said, if we use Traffic Geyser, put it up on YouTube manually, and then go to town with Traffic Geyser for a client and take that same video and upload it to all the others. And it's just kind of like, it's a crapshoot. It's just like, hey, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Always start with lead foot is for YouTube. Excuse me. Lead foot is always YouTube.
Good answer.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. We talk about squirrel moments, bird moments.
No, literally, it was like a bird that landed on the roof, and I'm like, what is that?
Where are you at right now, Dan?
I'm in California. Yeah.
Steven's asking, with your membership site, are you using something like Kajabi or something else?
I'm actually using Wishlist Member, which is a plugin that works for WordPress. I absolutely love it, and I'm also really good friends with Stu McLaren, the founder of that software, and it's absolutely amazing. I've never used Kajabi, but I know some of the guys that work over at Kajabi, and they're awesome as well. So it's kind of like the big difference between doing a membership site with Kajabi versus Wishlist is basically like, do you want to host it or do you want someone else to host it? Do you want to use WordPress or do you want to use someone else's template? And if you're really familiar with WordPress and you've got that all set up, it's literally like installing a plugin and you've got a membership site with username and passwords and locked pages, member levels, all that stuff. And I think it's like $100 to get the plugin.
Yeah, we use Wishlist with Create with our Insider program, with the Insider coaching program. So
cool.
All right. Chris Rains, James, how do you track your clients' YouTube plays all the way to the sale? Are you involved with making custom landing pages from the videos or using a custom 800 number so that the client can attribute a sale directly from the YouTube video? I mean, we know you're not doing client work now, but how would you do that?
I'm not doing client work, but I love the whole the 1-800 number thing. I think that's fantastic. I think like what I mentioned earlier about doing the discount things, like mention the video, can definitely help for the local client. It really depends on what the client wants that next step to be. Do they want that next step to be a phone call? Do they want it to be an email opt-in, like fill out a form like for a quote? Or do they want it to be foot traffic? And so that's a conversation that you need to have with your client, is say, if I can get you the leads, what are you going to do with those leads? What do you want them to do? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to opt in? Do you want them to just come into your store? And that's the type of thing that you can help them and coach them with. That's why I said marketer first, provide more value. But that's going to kind of help answer the right way. For me personally, yeah, I track everything, but all my stuff is all digital and online. So when someone buys, I know like exactly where they came in through my funnel. I use software called Infusionsoft to do that, and I think that's a totally different conversation for a completely different day. But that's what I use personally.
Well, and I think it's important, too, to mention that you're not promising these clients sales. You're promising them the opportunity to sell. I mean, that's where I think that's kind of a big difference, because I can't sell your product for you. If your product sucks, it doesn't matter how good the video is, or if I get into your store,
That's one of these things where, like, yeah, I can get clients to your website, and then you see their website, and you're like, ooh, maybe we don't want clients there. And it's an opportunity for you to get extra work. Like maybe you know someone who's a web developer, and you get a referral fee. There's all kinds of stuff you can do to upsell them and continue to do more packages. At the end of the day, we all know it's a basic fact of business that it's far easier, cheaper, inexpensive to make an additional sale from an existing customer than it is to go out and acquire a new one. So here are your pool of customers. In fact, people who have past clients, can't we go back to them right now and say, we made these videos for you 6 months ago. We want to do some cool stuff for you on YouTube to ramp up your results, to get you more traffic and get you more leads. Yes, you absolutely can. You don't need to go out and find a new customer to try all this stuff on. Go back to an old one.
That's a great point. Super great point.
So how would you recommend, I'm going outside of these questions, man, just because these have been bounced around in my head for months. In terms of what comes first, like the chicken or the egg? I mean, do you try to get them to pay you for what you're saying you can accomplish, or do you have to show them you can accomplish it? I mean, what's a good way to take that first step with a customer?
That's a great question. I think there is no right or wrong answer. I've loved the strategy. If you guys are familiar with this, where you create the result first, you put up, let's say you go to, and I actually did this, I did this with a domain. Who was he? He was a bookkeeper. And I did a very similar strategy this years ago, and it worked. It totally works. Where you could go, let's say you're going to do, we'll do the yoga studio one. Let's say you know that in your area there are like 7 yoga studios. And Camarillo Yoga, okay, you can create a generic video optimized for Camarillo Yoga, get that thing ranked. It doesn't say a specific business name, it doesn't say anything like that, but it does have a call to action, and it has a link below. And you can then get that thing ranked, and you can call or email every yoga studio in Camarillo and say, I want to let you know I've set up this whole thing. I'm ranked on the first page for it, and the price is this. Oh, by the way, to own it, to rent this, to take this video and put your link on it, the price is this. Oh, by the way, I've just sent this same email to all the other yoga studios in Camarillo, and it's effective and it works. I used to do that with domains, and long time ago. But then the other one is just saying, once you have one client who you can do this for, like it's just saying, this is what we can do, this is our service, and we, how much, this is how much we charge for this. So I think you can go either way. So hopefully that gives you a little clarification, Chris.
I think
that's great, man.
Do that. And again,
okay.
Anybody, if you're in guest mode, if you want to interact in the chat, just log in via Facebook or Twitter or Spreecast. So we're not going to take any more questions.
Yeah, sorry, Mike, I keep cutting you off. So Charles is saying, do they make a transcript program for a Mac? I know there are some for PCs.
Not that I know of. I go to here's how I do my transcripts. I go first of all, YouTube does give you a transcript now. It's just pretty shoddy. It's just bad, and I wouldn't use it. So I go to Fiverr.com and I pay the $5 to get a transcript made from someone, and they'll transcript like up to a 5-minute video for $5. And then you take that transcript, you upload it to your YouTube video. It's a really simple step. I think I have a video on it somewhere on YouTube. If not, someone else does, how to upload a transcript to YouTube. It's out there. And you're done. So $5 on Fiverr, you can have someone manually do it for you. You don't need the software.
All right. So Johnny Tidwell, outside of producing work for clients, how do you brand yourself online? Do you talk about your services or give tips or talk about something that has nothing to do with your business? And is it in the form of blogging, videos, live streaming, or social networking? So you being just in general, how do we do that as video experts? How do we do what you're saying
great.
to get people to come to us?
The simplest answer for effective branding is to become the authority in what it is you do. My father's been in real estate for 35 years. And every time when I was younger, we go to some sort of like event together, go out or whatever, he was always the guy that everyone at the party would come to asking about real estate advice. They would come to him saying, hey, so how's the market doing? The price is coming down, blah, blah, blah. And then that's all he had to do to lead into a conversation, and boom, he's got the client. And so if we kind of take that same idea and apply it to our personal branding, it's as simple as using YouTube to create content and value for your customers by answering questions, by giving tips, by giving advice, by showing exactly what it is you do. I think someone asked that earlier, like if I show them what I do, can't they take it and run with it? Sure, but your ideal clients won't. They weren't going to pay you anyway, so let's just be honest here. They were going to figure out how to do it some way or another. Okay, so it's always for yourself. And this is what you do for your clients. So a chiropractor, if I was to hire, or if a chiropractor was to hire me to do his videos, we would come up with a list of videos on things like, why should you be seeing a chiropractor? What are the benefits of chiropractors? Does it hurt when you go to a chiropractor? These are the type of things that he has positioned himself as a chiropractic authority because he's answering the type of questions that are in the mind of his ideal customer. You need to do that same thing.
That's a great point. Great point. All right, so Dan, this is from someone watching the call. Is anyone using voice recognition software to create transcriptions? I think that's kind of along the lines of it can work, it can't work, but I think is cost effective and efficient as it is to just go to like a Fiverr or even hire a VA to help you with that. To make sure that it's accurate is probably the better route.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so Carl's another one of our Create experts and Create partner, Carl Olson. Let's see.
Oh,
if his question will pop up. Mike, can you get that to pop up? Carl Olson, it's not working. There we go.
Oh, I see it. What are my thoughts on Lead Player for capturing email opt-in? I love Lead Player. I have a graphic somewhere, I don't know where it is now, where I captured my 30 days of analytics from my email marketing software, and I had over a 400% increase when I added Lead Player to my blog and all my videos on my blog. So we went through, I had a VA on my team do this, and add Lead Player to every single video that had ever been posted on jameswedmore.com, and overnight just skyrocketed. And so for people who don't know what Lead Player is, it's simply you take your YouTube video, and when you embed it on your blog, it creates it's a player that adds like an opt-in box inside the video. And people have to opt in to continue playing it, and it works extremely well.
And just to be clear, opt-in basically means they have to put their email address in a box in order to watch the video. Yeah. I know a lot of our guys aren't internet marketers like we are, so they're like, opt-in, what does that mean?
Yeah. So if you're using it because you want to capture names and email addresses, it's a great tool. and it's great for clients that want to do that as well.
Well, and James, if you're cool with it, if people will opt into on expertinterrogations.com here, we've got it. If you opt in, either depending on where you're at, above or below the video, there's an email opt-in on our site. If you'll go ahead and sign up for that, we'll make sure that we get with James and we get a couple of different documents and some things we've talked about from him, and we'll send you guys out some links to James's programs, his YouTube programs, and everything else that he's got going on. So just be sure to sign up there. We'll hook you guys up. We just got a couple left, James, and we'll finish this puppy off. We truly appreciate it. We're getting a lot of great feedback in the chat. People are loving it, saying, have him back,
cool.
Have him back. So thank you.
Awesome.
All right, so Stephen is asking, have you heard of Tube Toolbox?
Yes, it's been around for a while. When I remember when I checked it out, it was only for PC, so I never used it. I'd stay away from that as much as possible. Any tool that will auto-generates subscribers or like auto-sends messages or anything, YouTube has really cracked down on that. In the last year, they had these notorious like spring cleaning sessions on YouTube, and they just like cleaned house and deleted a ton of channels. And even though we still have like deleted them, like people like logged in one day and says your account has been terminated. And even though we like still don't know why, some of these are like legitimate people that weren't doing anything wrong, we still can't link it to sites like that. But it's like better safe than sorry. And it's another thing where like, yeah, YouTube can just come and wake up one day and decide they don't want you making videos. And that's kind of the downfall of all of this, which is why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. But, until they do that to me, I'm going to keep making videos.
All right. Peter's question is, what kind of backlinks do you like to use to rank your videos?
Peter, it's a really great question, and I'm just not the backlinking SEO nerd type. I try to be, and it just goes like, it's just like too detailed, like for me, it just hurts my brain. So that's why I would check out things like tubekaboom.com, because I think that they just launched this software in the beginning of February, and I think they're onto something. I'm testing it very slowly because, like I said, I don't want to use anything like that goes into my account and like auto-generates messages or subscribes and stuff like that. That's what Tube Toolbox does. At least that's what I remember them doing. They go into your account and they like subscribe to a bunch of channels like automatically, and YouTube doesn't like that. What Tube Kaboom does is it will embed your video on a bunch of different sites, which helps, by the way, guys. And it will get you good backlinks organically over time. So that's what I would take a look into. I think like you can start a membership there for like $30 a month. But here's the deal. If this site works, this is why I was like really hesitant to share this, because it's brand new and I don't like to share anything unless I know it's working for me. If this site works, this software, Tube Kaboom, it's $30 to $50 a month to become a member. You can then be doing this for your clients, and you could charge $50 to a couple $100 a month per client for their videos, and all you're doing is copy and pasting their YouTube link and putting it through this software, and it does all the work for you. And that's where we start thinking like a marketer and business owner. Go, wait, all I have to do is copy, paste, submit. Yes. So that automation, I always like the automation part.
Well, and I'll just say, I mean, a simpler approach too, Peter, might be in terms of the backlinks. If you make a video, or if you have a video for yourself, or if you make a video for somebody else, if part of their marketing strategy is also blogging, I mean, a great way to generate backlinks is just at the bottom of every blog post, do a little, pitch for the video. I mean, even if it's,
I always do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I do that for my URL. I mean, all that stuff, and it really made a huge difference. It's amazing how even if you're linking back to your homepage from within your own content, Google loves that. And I don't know why. I guess because they just assume that you're trying to build this authority presence as opposed to just a bunch of landing pages. But yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it. I think and this may not be your area, James, but isn't Google starting to pay attention? I think I read something not too long ago with what's going on with Twitter. I mean, so if you have a lot of if you're pitching your links in Twitter, I mean, I don't know. Is that
I hope
happening?
so. I don't know. That's not my area. I wouldn't know. But one of the things that we do is a lot of people are connecting their YouTube account to integrate it with Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. So when you leave a comment in a video on YouTube, when you like a video, when you share a video, that actually creates a tweet with the URL back to the video. So that's why we're always telling people like the video, leave a comment, all that type of stuff, because that can get some buzz on Twitter. So hey, if that's helping in Google's eyes, then I'm happy to hear that.
So what's kind of, out of all the questions we've asked you today, what's the one thing that we either haven't asked you, or that you feel like if we leave knowing X, this conversation has been a huge success?
I think we touched most of the important things that I wanted to get out to you guys. Most importantly, I can leave you with the idea that it's when it comes to YouTube and this video stuff, it's strategy first, and it's a really simple strategy as far as get videos ranked. If you want views, you're not going out to a client saying, I'm going to make you a viral video. We're going to make something really funny and blah, blah, blah. That is just a 1 in a million, probably even worse odds than that, opportunity. The real proven and scalable strategy is finding keywords, making videos around that keyword, and getting them ranked in YouTube and Google for that. And when it comes to these like mom and pop local businesses, it's really easy to do that because no one else is doing it in your area.
Awesome, man.
Viral, baby.
Awesome.
Rock and roll. Well, hey, we truly, truly, truly appreciate you being on here, and maybe we'll have you on, months and months down the road in the future. I think we had some great feedback here. And if you want to, if you want to share this even with your people, our best-selling ebook is Chris's 6-Figure Videographer, which literally changed my life. I went from $40,000 in 2007 to making over $100,000 in 2008 when I found Chris, and his 6-Figure Videographer ebook helped that out, and we're giving that away for free. So if you guys just sign up on the other side of that, when you sign up for the email list, you'll get that ebook for free. And then we'll also, because of James's teachings, we have a rock star virtual assistant who is on the call today, Keith, and she will compile a list, and in our email we'll send out to you guys, because I know everybody's going, oh my God, there's so many links, there's so many things going on. We'll email you with a list of all of the links that were discussed in this call. And another cool thing, lots of cool stuff going on, below this call in the next few days, we'll have a transcript of every single question that was asked during the call. You'll be able to see a time code of where they were asked, so you can go right to those questions. There'll also be an audio download. So a lot of cool stuff, and there'll be a replay instantly following this call. So so fill that out, guys. We'll hook you up with the 6-Figure Videographer ebook, some cool links from James, and some cool stuff going on there, and all the links from the call today. So we hope you'll catch us on future expert interrogations. Next week we've got Lance Gray, who's doing almost half of 7 figures in a film and tape transfer business. He also had Pixel Pops Studios, which is an awesome, if you know Lance Gray from Pixel Pops, a great company there. So we'll have Lance on next week. He's a rock star. And we appreciate James today. Anything, Chris? Anything else you have to say? We'll finish up.
No, man. I love it. James, thanks, buddy. I mean, you're helping me change the way I look at marketing, and I'm having success. A lot of these, get online, and this is how you market. You try it, it doesn't work, and then you just feel like a complete idiot. But, following your teachings is actually working. I mean, I can attest to that. So it's certainly awesome to see that work.
I love it. That's great to hear. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks, James.
We appreciate it. We'll see you later.
Take care, everyone.
Well, what'd you guys think, man? Was that not incredible? I mean, I thought that was a good call. It was kind of the first attempt at sort of reaching a little bit outside of market. I mean, he's not a video production guy, but he's, helping us learn how to teach our clients, how to promote their stuff, which is such a huge freaking part of being successful as a video producer. I mean, it's not enough to just make it. you got to make it and then help a client understand how to use it so that they can really get a return on investment.
That's perfect, guys. Well, we've got some future ones because I thank the Lord through, and I'm actually going to meet more of them again next week. We're going to have, hopefully, a guy, a LinkedIn expert that I'm friends with. I won't say his name right now, but, we're going to try to get him on and some other rock stars that can, apply certain niche things into, our world and really help us out. So, thank you guys so much. Chris, tell them a little bit about KRE8insights real quick, and we'll rock it out.
Yeah, so KRE8insights.com, KRE8insights.com. If you go there now, there's a bunch of free content on the homepage. It's in a blog format. There's probably, I think, 60 or 70 different posts right now, all kinds of stuff, video tutorials, articles that we've written. And then if you're really serious about kind of taking it to the next level and you want to get involved in sort of this live group coaching format, like this right here, all the questions are related to the expert. How do they do this? What do they think? Blah, blah, blah. Well, our live group coaching is basically, we answer questions related to your business. I mean, how does this apply to your exact situation? And we have a lot of members, I think, that are on the call right now. So maybe if they want to punch in the chat, just kind of what their experience is with the coaching program. It's really a pretty cool thing. I mean, you could go there to the website, click the coaching. I think it's this coaching tab now. If not, it'll say Insider, and just learn more about it. And there is a free 30-day trial, so you can get in, test everything out for 30 days. And if you love it, you can stay with us. If you don't, no big deal. We don't ask for a credit card for the free trial. So really, it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, if you want to learn business strategies that will help you make more money as a video production professional, we're going to get you there. And I promise you, there aren't going to be people on the inside that are, being negative and telling you can't do something or you have to get out of the market. There's zero room for that. If you want to get, bitched at or made fun of or whatever, there's plenty of places on Facebook or online to go get that if you want that kind of pain. But if you want to get with a group of people that, number one, have made it, have been successful, have fought the hard fight, and are still fighting it on a daily basis, and actually get motivation on a weekly basis to get pumped and to make stuff happen and have actual strategies that you can use and implement to make more money, then I think that we've got something for you. And when you do actually become a paid member of the coaching program, you get all the ebooks that I've written as part of that paid membership. Now, those aren't included in the free trial, but it is included in the paid membership. And guys, seriously, $24 a month. I mean, just one of the ebooks costs $47. So, I mean, that's really a pretty good value. I don't know how we can do any more of that. And one thing that's actually probably our top selling product really is the Glide Cam demo that actually teaches you kind of, Joe Schweitzer created this video on just sort of the basics of using a Glide Cam, and people love it. So that's also part of the paid membership if you do decide to join up at some point.
And I just want to add one thing, guys. So this exact platform is how we do it every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what we're really, really, really pumped about, and that people don't know about really, is that we have our awesome assistant. So when you can't make calls, that's not a problem. You can email us your question. We'll answer it on the call, and then we'll go ahead and email you back the answer to where it was at on the call, the exact time code. So you guys are like, man, I'm busy. I can't ever make Wednesday calls. That'd be useless to me. You can email us every single week what's happening in your business. We'll email you back the answer, and then you can go to the time code right there and get the answer to your question. So, and you'll get 8 hours of coaching calls for absolutely free, ultimately, 2 hours every week that you can take advantage of. But again, we're giving away the 6-figure videographer ebook. If you're on the Expert Interrogations page that I put on the main screen here, just sign up below the video, and we're going to hook you up with all the links from this call, some links from James, and then also the 6-figure videographer ebook for free. So that's all we got, guys. We truly, truly appreciate it. Be sure to check out future Expert Interrogations. We'll keep you notified. And I'll have the final thing here one last time. If you want to get notified too, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Rock and roll. Replay will be available after the call with also a transcript of all the questions from this call. Appreciate you guys being on, and have a rockin' week. Be safe.
See you guys.